It's only Brian.
Okay, yeah, it's not a time of business. We have everyone on
Well,
the Zoom.
are we still calling it butt or ball up top? Have we
Yeah,
decided?
screw
I
Boston
think I
College, man.
think I think we are officially calling this the first episode of the newly minted ball up top
Bu-
episode or podcast.
Butt pod.
Uh, butt pod for short. Um,
Two T's.
yeah, we had an unnamed podcast. We're just kind of feeling it out last week, but we're here. We have a name, and we have a full contingent of our podcasters here. He's on joining us. And I think something, we had a lot to get through last week, but let's now that we have a little bit more time, let's get through some formal introductions of our team here. So we're in gallery view. I'll start from my left up the top. We got Saad calling in from Little Rock, Arkansas, and he braved a lot of traffic to get here, but he made it in one piece.
And a tiny bladder as well.
And a tiny bladder. Saad is he really appreciates people who really go hard to the tin. He has
Downhill.
affection for players that probably no one else would really have affection for. Tyler Johnson.
Good,
Austin
player.
Rivers is his guy.
good player.
Yeah, look, you should also do a player comp for each of us.
No, you
That-
can't throw
I
that
think-
on so late.
I want to give that proper justice. So I'll maybe we can fit that in at the end of this podcast or at a different time. But all I know is that Saad appreciates just downhill play. Maybe because he envisions himself that way.
No, no.
An unfortunate fan of the Miami Heat.
I'm a shooter. You know I'm a shooter too. I don't want to hear
Sure, man. Sure. Anyway, thanks for joining us this week, Saad.
Blessed to be.
Really appreciate it. Next, right below him, we got Fawn calling in from Houston, Texas. Working long hours, intern there. And he lives in the city. He lives and breathes the city as far as sports fandom. Some wonder whether he's actually the biased Houston Twitter account runner, and it's not the guy whose face shows up.
That man is blocked on my feed. Not me. Not me.
Not him. Okay, things have changed, but he's the biggest Alperen Sengun fan you'll ever meet.
Yes, sir.
He goes back and forth on Jalen Green every single day.
Great player.
And
Nice player.
and you'll never hear the end of his Houston fandom. But speaking of never hearing the end of certain fandoms, we have his brother Izan Rizwan, also calling in from Houston, Texas, but he is a diehard of another team, the Boston Celtics. He's had a lot to cheer about this past year. Really over, they've had a lot of success even, before last year, but they finally went all the way last year. They look like a juggernaut again this year. We'll get into it, I'm sure. He has a lot to be happy about. Even the Patriots pulled out a win today. It's just good living for his Boston fan here.
A lot to smile about. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Ball Knower 96.
Thanks for having me.
Now, right below him, we have Ayo Ayokambi, joining us from Atlanta, Georgia. Ayo is a Lakers fan, for better or for worse. He stays up late to watch the games. He also can, could tend to ride the bandwagon sometimes. Back in the the Durant Warriors days, he might have called himself a Warriors fan here or there.
I was a LeBron hater, but hey, we love him
And a
now.
LeBron hater is what we're learning. So,
This
it's a lot
is
of
disgusting.
A lot of cognitive
Hey man,
dissonance here.
it was a Kobe. It was a that Kobe love. I hate the greatness, but hey, we're back. We're back.
The one thing we can say is that Io just enjoys basketball. He locks into all the games. It's really admirable. You'll see messages from him at 2 a.m. The latest game ends. He'll stay up till the very end. So thank you for joining us, Io. And last, but certainly not least, Thunder Buddy himself, the most loyal of loyal fans to the Oklahoma City Thunder, Shanor Shah, a beast in the paint, a knower of ball, watches not only the Thunder but the OKC Blue. He's locked in. I once got a text at 4 a.m. And the text from Shanor read, "I think Theo Maladon is going to be something." If you might recall, Theo Maladon started with the Thunder, is now I think out of the league. Really short-lived 4-year career, but these are the types of things that Shanor Shah is thinking about.
Well, I just think there's no team that hasn't figured out how to like really harness what makes them special.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years away from being 2 years away.
Yeah, exactly.
He said exactly. You got it.
So this is together we comprise the Ball Up Top podcast. And now that we've gotten through our season preview, I had a lot to get through last week. I think we want to dive deep into the first week of the NBA season. It's a joy to have basketball every single day now. We had been waiting a long time for it. And I think what we want to do first is everyone likes to make sweeping declarations after a few games, and we're no different. So I want everyone to give me a sense of what they're overreacting to based on the first week of games. I think every team has at least a couple of games under their belt. So if anyone wants to take the floor and give us their overreaction from week one.
I'll
Against-
start. I'd love to.
Oh.
I'd love to start. Last week I made an MVP prediction. We went through MVPs. I thought it might be SGA. I've changed my mind, and I'm gonna be wrong.
Oh God. Oh good. What
I
is
don't
it?
know where this.
Yeah, bro.
I think I have an idea.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying that game last night wasn't perfect, but Paolo's too big most of the time.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew
He's just
it.
too big. He's just too big. He's not going to win the MVP, certainly not. But I don't think like a top 10 finish or like a top 8 finish is unreasonable. He's too big, dude. He's 6'10". He's 6'10". You have no. It's unbelievable,
We're talking MVP. You're talking top 10 finish.
bro.
Hey,
Bro.
Alok did say overreaction. So hey,
Saad went from a very bold overreaction to just like a correct
Tame.
Yeah.
like a very correct thing to think. Like
Yeah. He's not. I don't think he'll win it. But would I be surprised if he's like really involved in the conversation? Absolutely not. I expect it. He's so good, bro. Y'all watch? Man, last night doesn't count. They like had to had to travel to Memphis, and they just played the night before. It was third game in 4 days. Like that was gonna be a loss every time.
yeah, that's what the MVP. That's what an MVP would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely not show up against.
All right. Good point. No. It's a good point. It's a good point.
But I think say if we had this pod on Friday, I think a lot of us would be agreeing, at least to an extent. Maybe not be like we probably egged Saad to be a little bit more bold in saying that why stop at top 10,
Yeah.
because Paolo Banchero was, and I'd say still has had a pretty, having an impressive start to the season. I think he and Franz Wagner have, really cemented themselves as kind of the leaders of the team. I think Franz has also been aggressive, and it's helped Paolo just kind of do his thing, not feel like he's carrying the load all by himself.
Dude, Franz could not shoot threes last year. I don't know. He just could not hit his shot last year, and he just stands in the corner and fires them off. He almost made 3 in a row the other night. He missed the third one, but he's like not hesitating at all. That is the biggest difference, and it's working.
He's off to a good start from 3.
Yeah, bro. He's as long as he's pulling it, it will go in eventually.
He is
I
a
think
unit. He is a
Yeah.
unit.
He's a special. Franz is special.
Yeah. And I think one thing about Paolo that kind of at least tells me that he'll be in these conversations for years is that he doesn't, his game is predicated on going downhill, getting to the basket.
Yeah, it is.
He's already figured out the foul drawing aspect of the game. I think people go years without really using the free throw line to their advantage. He did that from a rookie. I think he was still getting like 8 free throws a game,
Man.
something like that. Maybe not that high, but it feels like it. And also his passing, I think, has been pretty impressive so far this year, and in this small sample.
Just some numbers on those free throws things, though. From his rookie year, he had a free throw rate of nearly 50%, then 40%, and now this year 61% so far. So
Jeez.
like to Loke's point, he just knows how to get to the line. Just like Jimmy Butler, just like Embiid, just like AD.
I don't want to hear nothing about no Jimmy Butler.
I'm just saying, like foul
We
drawing
might.
is such a
We might.
such a skill. Such a skill.
Dude, he had a good game
He's
the other
learning to
night.
use his body. You got
No,
to.
I do agree though. Like it's very hard for young players to, first of all, know when to get their own, and second of all, when the game slows down. That's a very good sign that the game is slowed down. They're really seeing the court. They're knowing what positions to be in, and knowing what the team needs from them. And getting to the foul line is the easiest 2 points in the game of basketball. And I mean, to Izan's point, 61%. That's crazy. That's elite level. That's superstar level. That's MVP level.
Dude,
Drawing
special.
fouls. So I think that is very, very special.
Man, he's so big and he shoots the ball too, bro. Unstoppable.
And I appreciate Izan bringing the stats into the discussion here.
There's gonna be a lot of numbers. There's gonna be a lot of numbers.
That's why
We
we
love
need
the
Izan.
numbers. It enhances this podcast.
Yeah, I'm just afraid of Shinur
We have
saying
credibility.
nerd and yeah.
I was
Don't be
literally those are
afraid.
the next words out of my mouth.
Don't be
There's a lot-
afraid.
I
Embrace
love advanced
the
stats.
nerd.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Anyone, I think that's Paolo Banchero is worthy of praise so far in the season. So thank you, Saad, for bringing that to the table. Does anyone else want to provide their overreaction after week 1?
Is it over for the Denver Nuggets? They look like ass, bro.
Speak on it. Speak on it. Speak on it.
My goat Russell Westbrook can't even help them. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Dude,
Some
it's
would
over
say
now.
he's bringing them down.
Nah, that's on
Nah.
Jokic as a leader.
Are we
he should
surprised
know
about
better.
Not
the Russ
exactly.
minutes? Like, are we?
Hey,
The bench is horrid. They won a championship and said that's good enough for me. Just total loser mentality from the front office. It's honestly quite disgusting to see. And they're a disaster on the court.
I
I
think they were
wouldn't say
banking a lot on Deron Holmes. Like a lot of
True.
their bench unit was banking on a rookie, which I guess is a weird philosophy. But yeah, I mean, Russ playing in a backcourt with Jamal Murray in a bench lineup, man, I don't see it at all.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't know. If it's over.
Go ahead, Ayo.
Yeah, I really don't think it's overreaction. I think Nuggets are done. I think kind of to Shanor and Azan's point, they won the championship and they thought they were good. Like front office decided really not to just invest on the young guys. Think that wasn't it. They're not going to show up. Jamal Murray also.
Yeah, he still
I don't
stinks.
want to
What's
say
going
it,
on?
but I
Yeah,
don't want to say it, but
might be cooked.
might be cooked. Jokic had to get 41 to beat Clippers team.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's overreaction. I think it's over. Thank God. And as a Lakers fan, Mike
Man.
Malone, yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get.
My Lakers take from last week looking worse and worse, huh?
We'll get to that.
We'll get to my overreaction.
Oh man.
But a little bit more on the Nuggets. So I think 2 things to highlight. So one, I think the Michael Porter Jr. contract is just like coming to bear now. It didn't matter when Jokic was kind of, Murray was hitting a stride once he got back from injury, and Jokic was playing at MVP level, and Porter Jr. himself had kind of made some strides defensively, maybe in the past couple of years, especially in the 2023 playoffs. But now that his contract is sort of an albatross. And from that point in 2023, he really hasn't made any kind of steps. He kind of lost his shooting touch in the playoffs last year. He doesn't offer any sort of playmaking beyond kind of running off cuts, shooting, and some occasional backdoor cuts to the basket. So I think that's kind of hamstrung them, and it's going to put them in a tricky situation going forward. And the other thing is, to y'all's point about the front office and kind of the refusal to kind of like retain or just kind of make moves that kind of keep this run going to help Jokic and relying on these young guys to pop. It's just kind of a disconnect with how Mike Malone has kind of run his operation. I think he was famously very resistant to even play Michael Porter Jr. in the first place once he got over his back issues early in his career. It took a long time for Michael Porter Jr. to get into the rotation. And it was the same for even Christian Brown. Peyton Watson didn't get real meaningful run last year. It was like Reggie Jackson minutes, as a ball handler when you had, Christian Brown could kind of take some ball handling duties and kind of grow over the season. And now you're just all of a sudden expecting them to, when they're actually needed to step up. It's kind of difficult. So I think it was just kind of a disconnect and believing in young guys with a coach who's not really known to believe in young guys. So I think the Nuggets they'll be fine. I had them at 4 in my predictions. My seeding predictions. I think that's still possible just based off of Jokic's greatness, but as far as their success in the playoffs, it's not looking great.
I mean, I think headed into the season, like you needed 2 of like the 3 young guys to pop. You needed 2 of like Brown, Stroufer, or Payne Watson to pop, and all 3 guys, like their offenses can be really untenable, even around Jokic. Like they provide little to no spacing value, and then the only spacing value they provide is on like cuts. So they really need Christian Brown to fill that corner and hit threes. Peyton Watson has not been a spacer by any stretch of the imagination. Like if you're in that kind of roster building territory, we need 2 of the young guys to pop out of those 3 that I mentioned. Then you're in some trouble. I'm not going to count them off just yet. I had them 2 in my Western Conference like seeding, so it's not off to a great start. But I think you're just asking Jokic to do a lot. And now the sample size of Jamal Murray's play is kind of stacking up. So now you can't even count that as like just a slump anymore. You kind of count that as, okay, this is pretty bad play. So, and if you don't have that 2-man game between Jamal Murray and Jokic, you pretty much have nothing. So
yeah, that was the foundation of their title run.
It was fine. It was fine when they had like auxiliary pieces, but no one can shoot. No one can shoot. That's all. It's like that simple. Well, there's like no point to it if no one's gonna hit shots.
Jokic even admitted it in a press conference after 2 games in the season. Pretty crazy.
I mean, his whole game is predicated on gravity, and there's no gravity if there's no spacing. So
downhill. Thank God. Let's go.
I know. I was been praying for this.
I was praying.
For a long time.
Looking. I think it's February 22nd. Lakers play Nuggets.
Oh my God, he knew the date.
Hey, that's real hate. That's real.
My overreaction will make you happy.
I hope someone's about to overreact to the Lakers because I got a lot to say.
I'll throw mine out.
I think we have about 8 minutes before our break. So why don't we
can talk about the Lakers the whole time.
We might have the same overreaction.
Should we do a different overreaction first then, and then have a bunch of
8
Lakers
minutes?
talk?
We could.
I do think we need to focus
later.
on the Lakers start though. I do think we because it's pretty special.
We have 8 minutes to focus on the Lakers.
Special.
All right, let's get into it. So whose overreaction is this? What's the overreaction?
My overreaction is Anthony Davis will be the MVP.
Let's go. He's so good.
There we go.
Yeah,
pretty good.
This man is carrying his Olympic form straight into the season. He looks like New Orleans Anthony Davis, prime Anthony Davis.
He's amazing.
Blocking shots left and right, hitting threes.
He's amazing.
Mid-range. He's just taking it to whoever wants it. Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
He's amazing.
It's wild. It's good to see for the Laker fans. Unfortunately, I'm not a Laker fan, but
You
for the
can
league in
be.
general, I think it's fun. Having this type of Anthony Davis back. The reason why I'm saying it's an overreaction is, he has injury history. But, if he continues to play like this, Embiid, come on, man.
See you later.
Oh, he's not going to be in there for the race at all.
Yeah.
No,
Embiid,
he's taking himself out of the race.
yeah.
I
I think it was
think
just a good dichotomy, I guess. I think Anthony Davis and Embiid have always been compared, especially over the last couple of years. And I know Jokic has been in those comparisons, but that's a little bit separate. But Anthony Davis might be running miles around Embiid at this point.
Oh yeah.
yeah. I think it all starts with Anthony Davis as far as their start goes. I think the confidence with which he's like, stepping into these pull-ups from the mid-range, the confidence that he had to take that three last night when they were up two in the final minute, and he just canned it. It was, I think the part of it is Redick is like making it a point to make him the focus of the offense. I think the first two of the games, LeBron had his fourth quarter outburst last night, but other than that, LeBron was kind of having pedestrian outings. It's because the offense is running through Anthony Davis, and I think another thing is putting the ball in Austin Reeves' hands more has done wonders for Anthony Davis. I think he and AD have the best chemistry on the team rather than him and D'Lo. I mean, LeBron and Anthony Davis probably have better chemistry overall, but still, I think D'Lo is a little bit inconsistent in his playmaking. He can be streaky as a shooter and streaky as a playmaker. He can make a lot of mistakes and misreads. But I think Austin and AD have had a really good two-man game, and it's really benefited both of them. And JJ, I think prioritizing that in the game plan. You would think that it's like so easy to say, just give Anthony Davis the ball, you pay him the big bucks, he's like top 10 player in the league, arguably. It would be that easy. But then you saw like that, games in the playoffs, even against the Nuggets, AD would have an amazing half, and then he'd just basically be shut out the following quarters. And this doesn't seem to be happening, at least early on in Redick's coaching regime. So that's a big part of it.
I think Bronny has a lot to do with it.
No,
Oh,
Bronny.
The vibes are good.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Oh,
on the
yeah.
bench. Vibes are good. You think Bron's telling Bronny the same thing he told Rui at the end of the game?
Swing,
That
swing.
was hilarious.
Swing.
Bro,
Swing,
listen,
swing.
Bronny-
Hit 10 shots in a row.
He wasn't wrong at all either.
Listen,
I respect-
Bronny being there is like, I'm just saying, if LeBron's really gonna lock in for the season, that's all I'm thinking is like, this is a very important season for LeBron.
That'd be, yeah.
Like,
He
can you
said
imagine? Can you imagine like first playoff series with your son, and then like he's gonna be motivated. I'm just saying to
If
play in
we
the finals,
win-
to play in the finals with his son. I'm just saying. I
Yeah.
feel like,
Hey, Michael's never done it before.
Nope.
Michael can't
Never.
do it.
Didn't need to.
and they're probably getting real good footage behind the scenes right now for the
This
LeBron
is
doc.
disgusting, guys.
This is
I'm
Bro,
being
we
Oh,
real.
God.
Bronny,
undefeated
go
in
ahead
the
and-
Bronny era.
oh my god.
Can we
Hey
just call
Bronny, we're gonna
The
give you
Bronny
4.
era is crazy.
Bronny,
Bronny
we're gonna
era.
give you 4 minutes. Bronny, we're gonna give you 4 minutes opening night, and now for the next 81 games, I want you to practice your defense and corner threes. We'll see you come playoff time. I'm just saying, he just has to do one thing.
Swing, right to Bronny.
Swing.
Dude, Bronny making that game-winning three when it Game 7 NBA Finals after LeBron passed it to him to beat
Dude,
the
this
Celtics.
fan fiction is
It's
crazy.
over.
Oh my
Speak
God.
Over.
Speak
We
on
might
it.
as well just call this Le Ball It Up. This is
No.
think,
LeBron.
Dude.
LeBron,
One thing I want
hire
to
us.
make sure. One thing I want to make
Please.
sure is we never get sent held like the Bill Simmons podcast.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was a tough look. But, I could, and Edwards would say that, to be
He
honest.
would say
He
that.
would.
It was very good bait.
I know as our resident Lakers lover, do you have anything to say about,
Oh,
the Lakers start
I mean,
in particular?
all just loved on the Lakers. So I mean, like it's not just me, but I think we can kind of relate that to Alfonso's point. I think, and I guess even you, Alok, running the ball through Anthony Davis is. I mean, like you said, we've been preaching this. LeBron's kind of been like, these are your keys. It has been easier said than done, but we're finally seeing fruition. Hopefully, he just stay healthy, and you're really seeing real defensive player of the year stuff like Anthony Davis. So that's why I mean, it could be overreaction, but I don't think it. We'll see. I mean, we're the only team in the West with a 3-0 start. I mean, at this
They're-
rate, we're gonna make the finals. We're gonna win.
Dude, they're
So
project.
that's my
I mean,
overreaction.
at this
We're
at
within
this
a-
at this rate, they're 82-0. I'm just saying, and I agree, bro. I'm just saying, LeBron's got to be focused on making the most of the season. You think, dude? I know Darvin Ham didn't do much, but you really think he was just sitting there doing nothing? This has to be more than just the
we've
coaching.
seen
I
the-
agree.
we've
I
seen the
think
clips on
Darvin
Twitter.
Ham gets a little too much, just a little too
We've
much blame.
seen the clips on
So
Twitter.
it's
This
not
man,
just like
Salute.
you can see the differences. It's not just
Because
like,
it's
hey,
because
give AD
JJ
the
Redick's a
ball.
nepo
Yeah.
hire.
No,
Let's face
I
it.
mean, like if you look at,
Lil Pookie Bear groomed him.
but like any like after timeouts,
He has to
like
give it his all.
how much
after
money did he
timeouts,
pour
like
on him?
beginning of the quarter, like if you look last night, like beginning of the fourth quarter, they like ran a play for Dalton Connect. He got a three in the corner. They were down 7, and like there was the first play of the half in the Minnesota game. It's like there's like a lot more structure to JJ's coaching, at least so far.
For sure,
And
but
there's
I think we all know JJ's real like test. His real coaching job doesn't start till year 2 when they don't win the championship this year. Just like it was, everyone loved Darvin Ham year 1. Is all I'm saying.
Did
I
we?
don't think everyone
Oh.
loved Darvin Ham.
No, the Lakers fans liked him. They're like, finally, Frank Vogel couldn't get it done, but Darvin Ham, he knows
Frank
what he's
Vogel
doing.
won a chip,
Boba wasn't
man.
even that bad.
He
Boba
won
was-
a championship.
I know.
Well,
I
Lakers
know.
fans, the way
Yeah,
they
Lakers
fired
fans,
yeah,
Vogel
they're-
was crazy.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
after winning
that
a
wasn't
chip.
us. That was
I'm
you.
just saying, like Lakers fans are,
Okay, well, the way that you did Isaiah Thomas,
Oh,
yeah,
I mean, we can get into that. There's some facts into that, but like anyone would have traded him for Kyrie Irving. So
Yeah,
but
let's-
after that happened,
No, yeah,
the way y'all did
anyone-
it to him, y'all did the way y'all
anyone
did
would have
it.
traded
All
him
right.
for Kyrie Irving.
how about
Anyone
let's get
would've.
into it some more after
Didn't
this
think
break.
we'd be talking about Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
I'd
But,
love
hey,
to
You
continue
want
this.
you want to put Darvin on this?
I'd love to continue this, but let's do so after the break. We'll see y'all in a bit.
Anthony Davis MVP. Let's go.
I'm in.
Cash. Heck no.
Hey, I had to defend my boy JJ. JJ, if you're hearing this, hire me too.
You run Lakers film room, right? Or no, you're Lake Show Yo.
Like show yo.
I think Lakers film room deleted his account after the Celtics went on a run. So
Man.
yeah, I haven't heard from him since.
Dude, I can't imagine the Lakers are this much better with the same roster, like with anything other than like the players themselves being more locked in. Like, there's no way Darvin Ham to JJ Redick.
But part of the locked in
agree.
is coaching, right? It's coaching. It
I guess,
matters.
but
it's
I think
confidence
that-
in your coach.
I think that in this case, I feel like it's LeBron, and then by extension, I
I
feel like
agree
it's-
100%.
Wait, are we
feel-
recording? We should record this.
Yeah,
We are
recording.
recording.
Oh, we
By-
are. Oh shoot, my bad.
by
We're
by
back from break.
extension, by extension of
Don't worry.
like LeBron, I feel like this whole start is brought upon by Bronny being in the building. Dude, I do. Can you imagine? Like, everything is hilarious. Did you see?
I
what
don't
they
think-
was-
I,
AD
I'm with Sod on this one. You know, like
I don't
Interstellar.
think
I'm
Bron
with you.
had-
I'm with you.
transcends all dimensions. There's some kind
No,
of love.
I'm with
You're
the
right,
Loke.
it is.
I'm with the
man.
Loke. It's JJ. Like
There's
he's
I-
the one who said preseason that he wanted to empower
I'm
Rudy,
with-
and it's yeah.
I'm with
The,
Sod
the
up until
offensive
up until
rebounding
this
numbers are
up until
crazy
this
so
Bronny
far.
nonsense.
Like if you, I think it's, I don't think you like want to give JJ Redick credit, Shinor namely, because he was like a podcaster turned coach. He like kind of skipped the line as far as like coaching tree goes, but like there's enough seeds to where it's like whether it's like the emphasis on offensive rebounding, like Rui is finally using his like 6'8" frame. He's like a giant, and he's finally going after offensive rebounds. He's passing the ball now. He would never pass the ball. He'd do this little turnaround jumper.
he
It's
didn't
like
swing last
if
night.
he swung until the fourth quarter. Okay, but I think you got to give JJ a little bit of credit, despite of how your perception of him or
I-
whatever
no, he-
baggage you're carrying.
And
all
getting Torian
seriousness,
Prince out. Getting him out, hey.
TP and
Over the moon.
Darvingham package duo in Milwaukee now.
But is it really a credit to JJ Redick that Rui is passing the ball more? Like I just
I
don't
think
know.
there's definitely some in-game adjustments that are happening that were not present with Darwin. There's like a sense of urgency, you know?
It's
Like
it's true. It's true. They play it seems quite crisp out there these days.
Because
Yeah.
Ham
Yeah,
wasn't a good coach.
But LeBron's been
LeBron
playing
is
this
Alright.
game
who
for
you
20
think he
years.
is.
all
All
right.
right, y'all.
I
All
don't
right,
know.
y'all.
That's why
I
he
think
left Miami.
out of
Really, the
respect,
coach, he would, yeah.
out
LeBron
of
is a
respect for
bad
our
guy,
out of
man.
respect for our members that don't enjoy the Lakers as much as maybe some of the others do, let's move on.
Yeah, let's do it.
We still have some overreactions to get through. And I would like to offer my overreaction. I've said the Boston Celtics were going to win 60 to 65 games. I think they're going to win 70 games. This is crazy. Like Tatum is like mad. I didn't want to buy into the narrative of like the Olympics thing, like fueling him, and it's probably it still might not be the case, but like the tangible thing that's happened is he's fixed his jump shot. Like it looks different. He's like pulling up with like he's still pulling up with the same like he pulled up with confidence before, but it's like going in, it looks better, and he's also kind of he's still carried over the tendency to like use his frame to get to the bucket to create opportunities for other people. It's once he gets past people, uses his body, it puts other people into rotation, and they basically get an open three every time Jason Tatum uses his skills to get past someone. And it's like the open three rate is crazy for the Celtics, and they're going to get those shots against anyone. Like they got them against the Knicks. They're like I can't even think of a team that's going to have any success in like minimizing those amount of open threes unless they throw out some weird defensive strategy. So it's just a matter of if they're making those shots or not. But I think they're going to win 70 games. Tatum looks like an MVP so far.
70 even or
70 or more. I said 60 to 65, but like I don't
The
know.
truth is
70
with the Celtics, the truth is like if one of the big guys goes down, the rest of the team will rally in their place, you know? Uh, and the truth of it is if they lose multiple guys, they'll just spend $30 million on another replacement. They'll just get another one of those guys. Spend a
yeah.
little bit more money to win another
But
championship. Isn't that
Can't
right?
do that. Can't do that. Actually, we're
but
over
like
the.
but it's just like even this team, say like I think Tatum is really important, right? If Tatum goes down for an extended period of time, this will obviously change. But like
God forbid.
Jaylen Brown, like if Jaylen Brown is gone, like is it really gonna like they might like lose to like the cream of the crop in the league? But
hey,
like how often
watch
are
your
the
mouth, Alok. That's the NBA Finals MVP you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's crazy.
but I'm talking about in the I'm talking about in the
Crazy.
regular season, right? Not a
I'm
series.
just playing. I'm just playing.
It is I'm talking so seriously because I'm so mad that the Celtics are even like look this good so far. Like
I
even like last night, they were supposed to lose to the Pistons and they didn't. Pissing me
I
off.
would I really admire your your overreaction about my favorite team. And I'm not even playing a fake pessimism game, but I cannot see a world where we win 70 games. I just cannot see it. Like I think 60 wins is within the realm of the possibility. But like to your point, if like JB goes down, yeah, I mean they can rally with creation from like Derek White or Drew, but like if you have JB and KP out, then you find yourself struggling for creation and all that. So yeah, they're a really good team. I agree, but like there's still some holes within the roster that I'd like to fix. And then Sam Hauser with his back injury right now, I'm a little skeptical about that because he's a really important rotation piece. I don't even know if that's a real injury or not, but he said that he was feeling back pain in the summer as well. So that's something to monitor.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, yes, you're right. Like, I don't know how you're going to stop the 3-point output unless you like unless you have like a really strong point of attack defense. And even with that, like, eventually it's like you're playing a defense that's not going to bend, but it might break. So
Yeah, I mean, I think 70 is definitely like a scary number,
Mhm.
like a very massive number. But I would agree with you, look. I think it's closer to 65 than it is to 60. Like you said, 60 to 65. There's like they just look like a well-oiled machine. Like even Peyton Pritchard looks better. And I'm a big Peyton Pritchard guy, but like he looks like he's playing really well. I mean, he's has elements where he's improved his shot creation. He's still hitting his half court shots.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, he
And
hit that one
then
that didn't count, but it
yeah,
just like went in
exactly.
his three-quarter court.
Chills.
Exactly. So I think they just like you're saying, I think your point is completely correct. They can besides Tatum, I think they can rally around any other person who does suffer an injury. Um, I think the Eastern Conference is also, weaker. So they're just gonna be like steamrolling through teams in the East. Especially
Yeah.
like we'll probably at some point get to Milwaukee, but they look awful. Philly looks awful. Like, a lot of these teams are just like on paper, they're like, oh, they're the Bucks, they're the Sixers, but they're not the teams of the caliber that even last year's caliber.
Yeah.
So I mean they very well might win 70, but yeah, I would agree it's gonna be a very high number.
Yeah. That's a good point that I mean the East itself, like they're in a conference that's just like full of flawed teams. Like all the people who've made like off-season moves, like the Knicks are still figuring it out. They're already a thin rotation you saw on opening night. Like they're off the bench, they're just like crossing their fingers that Miles McBride gets hot or Deuce McBride gets hot, and then otherwise um it's just like fingers crossed. And then the Sixers are already, full of injuries. They squeaked out a win today only because Tyrese Halliburton has progressed in play over the first 3 games of the season. Um, so aside from the Magic, I don't think there's anyone really popping out in the East so far.
The Hawks.
The Hawks, the Hawks have had a good start.
I'll get to
But
the Hawks. I'll get to the Hawks.
all right, why don't you get to the Hawks? Is it part of your overreaction?
I already gave my reaction, so I think we
Okay.
got a couple more to go through
Who
before.
who hasn't shared theirs?
I have not.
Go for it, he's on.
I think my overreaction is I think Steve Kerr has probably officially lost his fastball as a coach. Um, saw after the Blazers victory that he said for the regular season they're looking for a 12-man rotation, and I shared that in our group chat, and I think Alok shared a similar reaction of just like confused, like why? Like we make a
Yeah.
lot of fun of Tom Thibodeau for his short leash and short rotations and playing high minutes. I think we should be making a lot of fun of Steve Kerr for this because I don't think in the regular season you should be playing 12 men at all unless you have to like a blowout or but like you're starting off your game knowing that you're going to play 12 men makes no sense to me, and especially with a middling roster and a bench roster that is filled with players that are either unproven or not just flat out not good anymore. So like you're inviting yourself off to weird bench lineups, and then you're inviting yourself playing a bench lineup against a really good bench lineup, and then losing those minutes could cause you to lose games. And then for the Warriors, we know that they're vying for the playoffs in a stacked Western Conference. Those minutes do matter a lot. And then that could be the difference in being a play-in team or being a top 6 seed or missing the play-in in its entirety. So I think you can trim minutes of like DeAnthony Melton. I'm just not as high on him anymore as maybe 2 years ago. Kaminga, I'm still waiting. Like I don't know what he is
I
at
saw
all.
hard to 10 drop coming.
Sod's
I
most
just-
improved player.
Hey,
Sod's
it's
most
coming.
improved player thing.
It's tough.
Like there's just a lot of holes on that roster for you to even consider playing 12 men. It would be something different if like you had 10 really good players or like a top 9 that's good. But I think even their top 5 has a question mark. So I
Dude,
don't know what Steve Kerr's doing there. So
I
Buddy,
think
Buddy Hield will save him.
Buddy Hield was
will save
awesome.
them.
Yeah.
They've won both games by like almost 40, I think, so far.
I think it's a little fool's gold though. It's like it's the Trailblazers and the
And
Jazz
Jazz.
both have
Oh,
It's
for
true.
sure, for sure.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. But at the same time, like, look, they have a lot of decent players on the team. I think it's like one of those things where you got those guys, no one's really standing out, just playing something, and somebody has to step up or nobody will. And it's like guys you kind of want to see. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Kyle Anderson fan, but you got to play Buddy.
Does
And they have-
does
I
Moses
think it
Moody play?
matters.
Yeah, Moses Moody plays. That's the thing. Like you
New-
Yeah,
kind of have
newly
to
he's
play Moody.
fine,
extended.
but like I think he can cut GP2's minutes a little bit. I think he can
Yeah.
cut Anthony Melton's minutes a little bit. I think he can cut Kaminga's minutes a little bit and play pods a little bit more.
I think you
Like
should cut Kaminga's
This
minutes a
this
little, a
stuff
yeah,
little
you
more than a
might.
little bit.
I'm just saying,
this
like,
this
there's a
stuff
lot of mid
matters.
players.
Yeah. It matters like when games are closer, you're not playing like the crappy teams in the West. It matters when like you need to like have some sort of direction. Like it's the same thing they ran into with their like two timelines thing, even when they won the
Yeah.
title, which was just like an anomaly because Steph went crazy in the playoffs. It's like they didn't prioritize any sort of development. They're like praising their young pieces, yet they wouldn't play them
Yeah.
and it kept them from making any like team improving trades when their assets actually had value. And now like their best asset is Brandon Pajemski, who was like a late first round pick, who they're not going to get anything they actually would want with that asset. So I feel like it just like adds some direction to the team. I think there are a lot of examples of teams with like, oh, they're so deep. It's like you don't need to be 12 deep. It's like a luxury to have, but I'd rather be like have a really good like solid 8 to 9 man rotation. And then you just figure it out if one of them gets hurt. Maybe 10 like 10 good players, but just like play nine and then someone's gonna fill the role when someone gets hurt. Not actually playing 12 people. I don't think that's really sustainable. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
I mean,
All right.
I see that point, but I think I agree with Saul. I think it's kind of like the Nuggets, where it's like for the Nuggets, no one on the bench has stepped up, or you haven't seen anything from them for you to feel like confident. But I think it's like the Warriors. I could be wrong because again, we know Kerr has made some unreasonable decisions sometimes, but I could see it where it's like he doesn't know what he has with this group with Steph. It's like,
Yeah.
I would rather slim it down, but I don't know what I got, so I'm gonna still
There's
let's look
space
at
now.
it.
This is the first time there's been like space for something you like take a bunch of shots. So
I think they'll
I'm gonna
trim
say
down
that.
later, but
I
for
mean,
the group,
again,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, he could trim it down later. It might be a bunch of coach speak, but like,
Mhm.
But at the same time,
like
it could be a mess. Yeah.
yeah, like once you start losing
And the-
games, you better abandon it quickly. You can't
and
just
the
like double down on it. And I think Steve Kerr is someone who's doubled down a lot in the past, whether it's his way he plays with his motion offense, even though Steph is like the most dangerous high pick and roll player in the league or like one of them, but he still does this like motion offense from 2015. I think Steve Kerr is a little stubborn, and we'll see if he's still stubborn with this. Um,
hey, just
who-
want to do quick live update for the fans, but Thunder up by 2 against the Hawks. 4:24 left in the third.
Nice.
Ayo.
yeah.
Atlanta, maybe I didn't respect Atlanta enough. We'll see. I have some Atlanta talk a little later in the podcast, but I think Io, you haven't formally given an overreaction.
No, I did.
He did. It was Lakers.
Lakers win the
Lakers
championship.
championship. Lakers championship.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
unless it's not.
okay.
I
I
mean,
didn't.
if it's
Bronny game winner.
reasonable, if it's reasonable, my other take, which might not be overreaction, but kind of earlier, I was thinking I would agree with you with Tatum. Pissed. MVP. He going for the MVP. He wants that. That was my other type of overreaction, but he's going for the MVP. He wants that shit. Shoot stuff.
I think it's the worst kept secret in the league that he's
Gunning
mad.
for
He's like he's gunning for it. He'll say in the post game that the right things, but he's not like Anthony Edwards who'll outwardly be like, hey, yeah, I'm going for the MVP, like no doubt about it. But I think he was upset about what happened this summer, rightfully so.
Sure, what you got cooking with this hot take, man?
Me? I talked about the Nuggets already.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you did talk about the
I think
Nuggets.
everyone
Everyone shared.
has given their overreaction. Does anyone have anything lingering that they want to get out before we highlight some player performances?
No, let's do it.
I'm ready for this.
Yeah, let's
Oh
do it.
All right.
God.
This will be something
Oh.
that's a recurring segment on our podcast, but we want to highlight some good play and some bad play, and kind of come to a consensus, over the course of the season, week by week or bi-weekly or what
So
have
are
you.
we're like all nominating a player for each award and then
Yeah.
picking
And
one.
we're
Is
gonna
that how we're doing it?
Yeah, and we're gonna first start with Hooper of the Week.
Is that the official?
Hooper
I
of the
think
week.
that's what we have so far. We're a work in progress always.
Yeah,
we're
it
continually
could
improving.
change, but
It
as
could
of now, Hooper of the
But
week.
But I want to get to an obvious player out. Jason Tatum, I think, is probably playing like the best player in the league. We've spoken enough, a good amount about him already this podcast. So that'll be my nomination.
He's my nomination. Just a few numbers, obviously. 37 points off 18 shots, 25 points off 20 shots, 37 points off 26 shots, an absurd 69% true shooting percentage, 6 assists per game. Yeah, that's pretty clear to me. So
I'll go next with my nomination. I don't think he's gonna win, but I just wanted to shout him out. Yeah, this is just me being a homer. I'm choosing Chet Holmgren. Uh, last year OKC's rebounding was like horrendous, and like throughout the first week, as of this morning, I don't know if it's changed as the games have gone on, but as of this morning, Chet was leading the league in rebounds, and you could really see it when you were watching the games. He's like making a huge effort,
yeah,
and he's just been a beast on the court this week. So,
yes.
that's my nomination.
I think especially doing it against Jokic on the
Yeah.
national stage was big. I think last year Chet had a tendency to like there was kind of the phenomenon of like you could tell how Chet was going to play by the first quarter.
Yep.
And his first quarter was not actually like at least the beginning of the first quarter was not that great on what was it Thursday against the Nuggets.
Yeah.
But then he like slowly but surely just
Took over.
took over and he kind of went toe to toe with Jokic. And if you can go toe to toe with Jokic, that's sometimes all you can ask for when the talent around you kind of outweighs the other teams. Anyone else want to nominate a Hooper of the Week?
I'll go ahead.
I think we know Sods, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm going with LeBron James, bro.
Oh.
Okay.
He played game number 1 with his son, and he's 3-0 against like real teams, bro. Minnesota, Phoenix, and then who they just play? Sacramento. They're 3-0, dude. And he had a triple double last night. He's 40. Bro.
The 16-point outburst was nuts. It
Dude.
was I it's
I'm
just
going
it's crazy that he's still doing it at this age.
I'm going
Um,
LeBron James for sure. For sure.
That was
uh,
a good one.
I will admit that up until the third quarter, I think it was in the third quarter, I was texting some of our podcast members saying it's
I have
something to the
I have the
effect
exact text
something
pulled
to
up
the
actually.
maybe not say the exact text, but
Are you sure?
to the effect of it's so
I could
over
say it.
regarding LeBron James
Well, I have like
and it's okay.
well,
I just
let me at least read Io's text then.
all right. What
Alok
did I
sends
say?
Alok sends his text, which he doesn't want me to read. But it was to the effect of it's so over. And then I basically echoes the sentiment. Uh, I said last week the fuckery can't go on. Io text last night. The fuckery is sadly over. As soon as they texted that, he scores six. He goes gets 16. He gets a 16.
I'll never
Yeah.
doubt him. I'll never doubt him.
2 seconds later, look, he's the GOAT. Never mind.
I just want to say I said Lakers winning before all of that.
He did.
Before all of that.
That's true. That is true. But I think LeBron deserves a shout out. So does Anthony Davis, but we also
Yeah,
talked about
yeah.
him earlier in the podcast. Io, do you have anyone you wanna shout out?
I was gonna shout out AD, but we talked about him, so
How
enough.
about you, Afan?
I'm gonna shout out that boy in Atlanta, Trey Young.
Yeah.
He's
Hey, yeah, dude.
he's playing some fantastic basketball. I think Izan was early on the take that Trey is better than Ja. Um, and it's a very fair argument. And the way he's playing, I mean, I know he's played Brooklyn and Charlotte. He's in a very close game against OKC right now. I think has like 21-7, but he had like 38, 10-8, 31, like 12-5. Like he is putting up some special numbers. The team looks a lot happier. I think maybe some Ewing theory with DeJounte Murray not there anymore. But yeah, I think I want to shout out Trey Young, just playing fantastic basketball right now.
It's a good one. Good
Shout
shout.
out for him.
Yeah, I think the team's kind of truly built around him now. I think the DeJounte Murray experience I guess there could be some justification for trying it, but this kind of led to some, friction over who's getting the touches, especially down the stretch, and they were just kind of a middling team over the past couple of years. They still might be a middling team this year, but they look good early. And
Hey,
Trey
so does Trey Young's hair, bro. That thing looks.
Did he go to Turkey?
Did he go to
Why?
Turkey?
He
I
looks
mean,
good,
he
dude.
wasn't in Paris.
What's this about Turkey? Sorry, what was that?
the
You
the
wouldn't.
hair transplant.
Mm,
You don't need that.
give me a few. Give me a few years.
Yeah, I think we might in a few years all need to take a trip at some point.
That might be,
That'd be nice.
So
I do
think
like the
just
beard on Trey Young though. While we're on his hair, I think
agree.
it looks good.
Agree.
Does it add to his aura? Sure.
It gave him a little like he was at 0, but it gave him like
the real
plus
question
one
is
aura.
if Trey Young does have aura. I think some
I
might,
think that meme of the lollipop with
I
like
knew
that
that
fell on the
showed up.
floor,
I
like
knew
that
that.
just stuck. Like for better, like it's not his fault. I feel
It's not
bad
his
for even
fault.
mentioning it. Uh,
You
Apologize.
clearly don't feel that bad.
Apologize.
You wanna-
it's so
Should've-
mean. It's so
you-
mean, man.
I know you laugh
Like
at that every time you
you
see that
asked
word.
about you asked about aura, and when I think of Trey Young, that's the first thing I think of.
Oh no!
Unfortunately,
Uh,
shout out
So,
Trey Young, man.
shout out Trey, man.
He says, I feel bad even thinking about it while he's speaking about it.
one player
Hey,
I do
man.
want to shout out before we kind of come to a consensus on who the Hooper of the Week is. I don't think he'll win it either. But Evan Mobley, I think
Yes.
he's had a great start this season. I think a lot of it has to do with a new Kenny Atkinson kind of committing to making him a focal point of the offense. It's not just kind of a Donovan Mitchell carry job and Mobley staying in the dunker spot. I mean, there's still clear deficiencies as a ball handler, as a shooter that he has, but I think when you have a system that feels he's a focal point of the offense, you could think about it in the same way as Anthony Davis. You commit to it, you can mask those deficiencies by developing a system that works for him, and he's kind of thriving in it, and he's still providing first team all defense kind of defensive performances at least at this point. So he's looking good to start, and they've started well.
That's a good shout.
I think Evan Mobley's nothing. I think he's being overrated. I think they played like the worst teams in the league this whole week. I'm pretty sure. All I saw was I think they played Detroit and then they played the Wizards, dude. I
This
think that's it.
anti Mobley
I
agenda
mean,
from
but you
Saad this
gotta
season is kind of crazy.
Games are games, man.
You gotta perform against those teams, right?
I guess, but I don't know who he's
That's what the
playing on
Celtics
either of those
said.
teams. He play. Hey, I think they play the Lakers this week, so we'll see.
They play Lakers
yeah.
and the Knicks this week, so
Oh, we'll
we'll
see.
get some
Some real
see the
tests.
test.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I think they play Orlando too. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh yeah, it's a rematch of that.
Oh, yeah, that's
that
gonna be
playoff matchup. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. We'll see. We'll
Well,
see. I think we'll see this week.
Now the real question is, can we come to an agreement of who the Hooper of the Week is?
LeBron.
I think it's hard to come to an agreement after we've all formulated an opinion. Truly,
Yeah.
I feel like I couldn't vote on somebody else's.
Wait, I want to nominate Bronny.
God.
First, yeah, like we talked about. First son to play and a father son at the same time. Helped
Baby
his
goat.
team get to 3-0.
I'm not gonna lie, this might be the only award he wins in the league.
Yeah.
The Ball Up Top Hooper of the Week award. Week
Could you
1,
imagine we mailed him an
2024.
award? Yeah.
Bronny,
Yeah, it's hard to come to a consensus because there's been a lot of good performances.
I think
Yeah.
I think I'd vote for AD just for all the reasons we talked about earlier. It hurts me to say that, but I can't deny it. He's been balling.
He's
true.
awesome. We didn't even
Yeah.
mention LaMelo. LaMelo deserves a shout too.
True, yeah.
Definitely.
But I think leaving it open ended leaves a good comment, and then we
Yeah.
can also because voting on the biggest loser is hard. I just want to talk about losers. That's it.
I want to talk about
Okay,
losers.
let's get
so
to it. Let's get
bad.
to it then. We need to have
Losers
requisite
style.
time to talk about
I would
losers.
love to talk about my loser. Oh my
All right,
God.
so we're
Go
gonna
ahead.
call this part of the podcast hit the showers award. Because when players play the way they do when they're mentioned on this segment, you don't want to see them on the court. You want to see them not even on the bench. You want them in the showers.
I I think I wanted to
So
mention a guy who's retired who needs to hit the showers.
You talking?
go for it.
His
Speak on
name
it.
is Dwayne Wade. Because did you see his ugly ass statue that was revealed?
Hey, that's not his fault,
Man,
man. That's not his fault. That's a
Hit
a
the
low
showers,
blow.
D Wade.
he needs to never show face again because that
Wait,
was ugly.
They
wait,
did their legends so dirty, dude.
That was the worst
Imagine
statue I've
being
ever
one of the
seen in my
best
life.
franchise players, bro.
dude, I just looked it up. It's awful. Is that real?
Yeah,
That's
he's
real.
trying to hold his
It's crazy,
emotions
dude.
in. He's trying to hold.
Oh
He's trying
my
to
He,
hold it
he
in.
said he said who is that?
I'd be
That's a good
That's
a good shout,
crazy.
Afon. Hit the showers,
It's
D
so
Wade.
so gross.
I think that
Wow.
goes to the statue maker.
Are they gonna change it?
No.
Oh my god.
Nah, dude,
I
you
think
can't
so.
change it. It's not that easy. Maybe it is. I don't know.
He said, "I can't believe that. Who is that guy?"
He brought his
Oh, man.
kids. He brought everyone, man. That's
Bam was in the
Yeah.
audience, man.
Bam and
Yeah.
Asia Wilson were there, man. You can't do that.
Their first
Oh,
public
Asia
appearance
was
as a
there?
couple.
Yeah, Asia was
Yeah.
there.
Finally.
It said he was
Um,
very involved in the creation process. Oh my goodness.
got it. Anyone currently playing? Make your hit the showers nominee list.
Yeah, mine. My current player would be Jabari Smith Jr.
Oh,
It's very, very sad for me to say this, but you have people like Paolo and Chet drafted right in front of him, flourishing. This is the year to flourish, year three. And it just seems like, there's no aggression, there's no intensity. The one skill that he was supposed to translate was his three-point shooting. Shot 40% from three in college on high volume. He's shooting 25% this year from three. It's 33% from career three-point shooter. I don't know. I think Tari Eason is better than him. I think he deserves that starting role over him. But that's my hit the showers player of the week.
Man.
yeah, it's bleak over there for Jabari. I'm not gonna lie.
Man.
Yeah, I think it's to rip off the Bill Simmons podcast. He's really said that there's too many guys in the on the Rockets that you think would be good rotation players. I think Jabari Smith probably flourished the best when Şengün was out last year, but I think Şengün is kind of proving himself to be an important piece to this roster, and that kind of leaves Jabari Smith kind of in limbo. I think there's a role for him, but it'll be at the expense of other players on the team that Udoka wants to get run for. So it's not looking great. Not looking great.
Okay, who's next?
Oh,
Can I go?
Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese
Oh
Halliburton.
shoot!
Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you go for it. Go for it.
This guy. So you know how like we're talking about Jason Tatum, like coming back with a vengeance, didn't play much in the Olympics, and like really took it as a slight to like prove it to people. Tyrese Halliburton is doing the exact opposite. It's so stupid. Like he should have every reason in the world. Not just that, like not playing that much during the Olympics, but like he had the clear moments in the playoffs and the especially like he like went had a disappearing act against the Knicks in a couple games. He like had costly turnovers against the Celtics when they were like pretty competitive first three games or first couple games. I think he got hurt for one of them. But like he has all the reasons in the world to like kind of come back with like kind of an agenda or like an intention to like improve. And then he's just like he's just kind of really been terrible to start the season. He can't shoot. He can't get past anyone. He just like settles for these step back threes. He's, his playmaking is completely like, out the window because he can't get past anyone. He's already kind of a defensive minus player, at least since he's been in Indiana. And just the optics are all bad too. I mean, I don't want to like be like a take artist on first take, but like the fact that he's like the young man of the three podcast host now.
I saw that.
He had that video. It's like, hey, I just got back from the club. It's 4:30 a.m. Shout out 50 Cent for his Vegas residency. Like, why are you doing that, man? like I don't know,
You know
man.
why?
You're supposed to like carry this franchise. You're paid that way. Your teammate to the Eastern Conference Finals
I'm
last
telling
year.
you, no podcast clauses in my contracts if I'm a GM.
It's a good call, honestly.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
He's
But-
not been good.
Rough week.
But
When
hey,
was the last time he was
I don't
good?
blame him.
In season tournament? He's been
In
he's been-
season.
Yeah.
he's been a shitter.
Oh my
Why,
god.
just for people at home to
Yeah.
know, I proposed calling this segment "Shitter of the Week."
Oh.
Wait, then that means we gotta change Hooper, and you know who we're changing
Yeah,
to.
we can't. We'll keep it as it is now. But yeah, Halburn, you're a shitter, bro. We're
0
sending
points.
we're sending
Bring it
towels to
on.
every nominee for the hit the
Yeah,
shower
they're gonna get
award.
a towel. You get a towel
Get
in
a
the mail
towel.
with
In the showers, man. Tyrese, you better,
But, hey,
man.
for
I don't
sure.
blame him. He
For
went to
sure.
Paris. He got this money. He got
Man.
podcasts. You saw the
This is the hit
video.
the shower segment. This isn't the defend
Yeah.
the.
Come on, Io.
This isn't room for defending these players. Gotta lay it all out there. So, Aya, why don't you give us your nominee?
We already talked about it a little bit. I don't have the stats, but we've seen the play. We know the history. Russell, I'm sorry to the kid.
Oh.
Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, he was my nominee as well.
Showers,
Hit
bruh.
retirement, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
Man.
over.
Yeah.
He needs to retire.
he's been
over.
ruining his legacy for the last 5 years at
It's
least.
over,
but
brother.
this first
It's
two games,
over.
you're right, Io.
Over.
Disgraceful.
He
You
got
can't-
an ovation when he came on the court in Denver, and I bet they all immediately regretted it when he started playing.
Shinura, I sent Shinura a TikTok of his first shot as a Laker. It was an air ball.
I
And then
saw
his
that.
first shot as the Nuggets was an
Yeah.
air ball. They're going in
It
on my
was
guy,
wide
man.
open. Jokic like threw them open. It was so
Dude, I saw him on the bench later in the game, just clapping at the guys, cheering them on. I saw that look Jamal Murray gave him. Oh, man.
Oh no.
Bruh, I know Jamal's
my
going
gosh.
through it. He not doing well, but man, if Russell was trying to tell me something, dude.
gosh.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
that's
been
my
tough.
hit the showers. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna to his kids. I won't say what Shanora said about Tyrese, but yeah.
Thank you, man.
Maybe it's
Thank
a go
you.
be a family man award for Russell Westbrook. He needs to leave the league,
Yeah.
not just the shower,
Yeah.
not just hit the showers.
Man.
I'm
Hey,
sorry, Russ, but come on, man.
I can easily transition off of this one. Seems like Denver's gonna be cold this winter when Russell Westbrook and Jamal Murray use up all the hot water, bro. Jamal Murray, hit the showers, bro. Look, all I know about Jamal Murray, I swear to God, this is the only memories in my mind are him hitting every single shot against Miami. Every no,
I thought you were about to say something else.
Oh
man.
yeah, me too. Me
No,
too.
no. The
Hey,
only
hey.
memories I have of Jamal Murray are him hitting
Post-COVID era.
every
That's not
single
even bad.
shot, every single shot on the Miami Heat in the finals, and every single shot on the Lakers in the playoffs last year. And the rest of the time, dude, he doesn't do that much. It's just the couple of series he just catches fire. It's useless. I don't think he's that good otherwise. I think he just had some aberrations in his play, and I think he's coming back down to earth finally. Dude, if there's someone that I'm excited to watch the downfall of, with respect to him as a human being, it's Jamal Murray as a basketball player. I'm so, dude, you know how frustrating it was? Everybody's
Yeah.
hand in his face, he's sticking shots.
Yeah.
Done. Done.
Agree.
Let's go.
He's a Jokic merchant. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
I'm excited for him to be done.
But even then, not even MVP Jokic can save him when he's lost a step like he has. Anyone else have? I've lost track of who's said their piece.
No,
but
I think we've
we
all
have
gone now.
we have about a
Uh,
minute and a
yeah.
half before
I
we're
need,
gonna wrap up.
I have a guy too.
Go for
Oh,
it.
go ahead.
Wait, Shinura, you want to go first?
No, I was just gonna say I have the same as Io, so you should go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, mine's. I don't think we expected much out of him anyways before the season, but I gotta run off some numbers for this guy. Tobias Harris, it's time for retirement.
Oh, man.
Sub 50% field goal percentage in each game, 44% true shooting, averaging almost 2 turnovers to 1 assist, 13 points off 13 shots, 10 points off 9 shots, 8 points off 11 shots.
Mm.
In an easier environment, you expect a little bit more. Brother, it's over. It's
It's
over.
over. It's over.
Time to be a J. Cole cosplayer.
Hit the showers.
Shout
You
out,
think
shout out
that-
Jimmy Butler too.
Oh yeah, shout out Jimmy.
Hey, he had a good game.
He
after
bounced
that
back.
first
He
Yeah,
half.
that's
bounced
why
back.
we could have nominated him. but-
Yeah. I wish
It
we
looked
could.
grim. It looked grim.
You would think that Tobias, coming out of the Pistons, like being that kind of like veteran in the room.
Mhm.
Typically, when other players do that, Chris Paul, for example, they like are productive players. They like alter their role to fit the team. He's just doing this
Yeah.
exact same thing he did in Philly with a worse team in Detroit,
Just
and it's just not working at all.
mind-boggling
Awful.
offense.
Hit the showers.
Hit the
Hit the
showers.
showers.
Hit the showers.
All these
Showers.
players expect your towels in the mail.
Yep.
How much
And-
time do we have left?
I think we got to wrap up, and just
Yeah.
one parting message for those who weren't mentioned in the Hit the Shower segment. Beware that we do this every time we do the pod, so you're not safe. So step up if you've been having a bad start to the season,
So he said, "Play hard, otherwise, or else."
or else we're sending you a towel. But I just want to thank
With a
you guys
duty
for.
streak on it.
Stop, relax.
Heyo,
Jeez.
no.
God.
That's not something we advocate for on this podcast. With that, I just want to thank you guys for joining us, joining me this late and talking some hoops. It's been a fun start to the season. I wish hopefully some more exciting games coming down to the wire in the future, giving us a lot more to talk about as the season rolls on. It'll be an interesting year, and can I tell you all? Can I confess something related to Jason Tatum? It's not anything about his like how good he is at basketball. I like realized 2 days ago that his son Deuce Tatum is called Deuce because it's Jason Tatum Jr.
Yeah.
It took
Yeah.
me years to put that together.
My wife asked the same question, and that's what I had to explain to her. That's why.
So his real name is Jason?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jason Tatum.
I'm calling that boy Jason. Jason Jr., JJ.
JT.
Man,
Sure,
I just
you're
wanted to share that. I thought this was a safe space to do so.